sun's coming up. Let's get after it. Up before daylight, camel and a bow. Cold air breathing, see my tracks in snow. Climb that oak tree, still and slow, waiting on a giant in the morning glow. Heart starts racing, he's stepping in close. Draw back smooth, that's the life I chose.
Right here looks where the shot went in, right behind the shoulder.
Buck fever grin, been waiting a while. From bass to bucks, that's how we live rough.
Nice one though.
Batson in a Moffett, we're built tough. From tree stands to the water line.
Well guys, we are here at the house. We're getting ready to head up to do an archery sit. We got a buck that's been running around some does. Got it on camera running around does. Dad's seen him running around does. Hopefully we can get a whack at him tonight. It's a real unique looking buck. He's got like a club horn on one side with an extra point, and then the other side he's looking like he would have been an 8-point, but want to shoot that weird looking one and get him out of here. Stay tuned, y'all. Alrighty guys, we are up in the stand and we're gonna hopefully get a shot at this buck tonight. It'd be really awesome. We've been seeing some early rut activity. A lot of you might not believe it yet, but it's already starting here. October 15th, it's already starting here. Seen quite a few buck chasing doe. It doesn't really seem like the doe are quite ready yet, but there's a couple of these bucks that are really chasing doe around hardcore. We've had them on trail cameras and we've seen it in the woods already, so stay tuned. Hopefully tonight's the night. Got a cornfield next to us here. And a nice patch of woods that they use for travel. Well guys, it's the second sit. We had 3 doe come in last night and a little buck. Little buck stayed right under my tree stand. I think he might have been a 6-point, but couldn't quite tell. It was just a little too dark. But stay tuned. Hopefully we can get a crack at one tonight. Let's get it. Okay guys, just before we get into this next part here, gonna go over a couple more sits with you that we didn't get on film just because I was kind of being lazy and didn't film anything while we went up to the stand. And the deer that we saw were a little too far away to really get good on camera. But we had quite a few sits where we saw at least a group of 4 doe and a small buck, was like a little 4-point. He was screwing around in the field with these does, chasing him around a couple of different times. And then another sit, we saw that same group and that same little buck, and then a bigger buck came in chasing around the doe, chased the little buck off and chased around the doe. Watched them for quite a while that night, and then got them to come over towards me, but unfortunately it was too dark and I couldn't see him good enough to shoot at him and couldn't see him good enough to get him on camera. But it was a really nice sized buck. Don't know for sure if it was the one that I got or one really similar size to him, but came only 10 yards away and couldn't see him good enough to shoot. So unfortunately we had a couple instances like that. Had another smaller buck, a 6-point, follow a doe right underneath my stand, and then another hunter was getting down across the field from us, scared a bunch of doe out of the field, and then scared all of them. But here we are. Let's get into the day that we ended up getting the job done. Let's go. Meep. Meep. Well guys, I think we just smoked one. Really nice buck came in. We'll have to see. Have to get down here in a minute or two and see where it went. Stay tuned. Oh guys, we found him.
Can you talk normal? He's dead.
We found him, guys. We got him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got a split brow here. Decent one. Heck yeah. Right here looks where the shot went in, right behind the shoulder. Quartering away, came out the other side of the front shoulder.
Okay.
There we go, guys.
Hold on there. Now it's there.
Nice 9 with a split brow. Had this guy on camera a good bit. And we got him. Shot went in right over here. Oh, but perfect shot. He only went about 30 yards. What? 30, 40 yards?
Not far.
Bled a good bit. Heck yeah. Now we gotta get him out of here.
That's what this is for.
Alright, you guys. Gonna get her hooked up to the four-wheeler. And drag her out.
That sucks.
Look at this bad boy. Hopefully we can edit good enough so you guys can see the shot good. We'll find out later. But nice 9-point with a split brow. Been seeing this one on trail cams for a little bit. And we got him. Wrong way. There we go, guys. Got her all gutted. Got the tag on her. 9-point with split brow. Real dark looking deer too. Right here, over in here is where the shot went in. And right through here, she was quartering away, went right in through there and came out the other side in the front. Probably only went about 40-50 yards. Nice one though. Was out a bunch this year so far and finally got it done. Well guys, as you saw, we ended up getting the job done on that nice 9-point with the split brow. We got the buck all taken up to the butcher shop, got our harvest tag reported, and that whole morning before this buck came in was a complete crap fest. We got up a little late because of the time change. It was November 2nd that we ended up killing this buck, and of course the time changed. We got up way later than we wanted to. Didn't get out of the house till it was all but daylight out. The sun was coming up over the hill as I was going over to my parents to hunt, and didn't get in the stand till about 6:20. So we ended up getting up a little later than we wanted. But luckily, the stand that we wanted to hunt was real close to the house, and we weren't going to really mess up anything by getting in there a little bit late, unless one was coming through right when we were getting up there. So watched a group of 4 doe all but the entire morning up until I shot the deer. They were about 100 yards away down the woods from me, and I watched them all morning snorting like crazy. And I was thinking maybe it was because the wind was blowing at them and they were smelling me. But I got my little windicator out and puffed it a bunch of different times, and my wind wasn't blowing down towards them, so it definitely wasn't me that they were smelling. My wind was going the opposite direction. So usually when they're doing that, it's either because they smell something they don't like, or sometimes also during the rut, they will snort if they're not ready to do their thing and there's a buck close by pushing them around. They'll snort at the buck like that. But never did see a buck with them, never was able to catch it. If there was one with them, it was pretty thick down in the woods down there, so there could have been one there and I never saw them. Don't know for sure. But watched them all morning up until about 9 o'clock. Right about 9 o'clock, 2 does come down from my side. Watched them go down through. They, I think, ended up meeting up with the does that were down at the bottom of the hill. And about 5 minutes later, this buck comes on walking down through. Right when I moved the bow over to pull up on him, he looked right up at me. Luckily, it didn't spook him any. He just kind of turned the other direction and started walking down the hill, which was a quartering away shot. He was about 40 yards away, which is unfortunately why the camera didn't get him on film extremely well. Didn't realize the 360 cam, once you zoom in that far, the footage kind of goes to crap and it gets a little fuzzy. It doesn't have the ability to zoom in that far, so we need to get a little bit better camera if we're going to be filming our hunts like this. But we did get it all on film, and I'll tell you what guys, this solo cam hunting is not for the faint-hearted. It is a pain in the butt to try to get these deer on film, all while trying to shoot them, especially during the rut when they're moving pretty good and moving pretty fast. A lot of times you're seeing these deer within a couple of seconds, and you got a couple split seconds to get them on film and make your shot and make it happen. But luckily we were able to do that with this one and get him. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this little hunting video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If we get this to 100 likes, we're definitely going to be doing more hunting videos, and hopefully we'll get some better cameras so that it is a lot better footage. Want to try to start tying some more of my other activities into the channel, like I said before. But if you guys like this, we'll definitely do a lot more hunting content. With all that being said, make sure you guys get entered in my giveaway. As soon as we hit 2,500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway for a fishing trip with me. And to be entered in that, you got to be subscribed to the channel. You got to like this video, you can comment for another entry, and also share it on your social media page for another entry as well. Also, we have all forms of social media at Bassin' and Up Moffett on all of them. We got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got TikTok. We're also on Bendable now. You can check out my boards on Bendable. Check out a bunch of my fishing lure recommendations. Got all kinds of recommendations with some good little blurbs and why I like them and why I like using them on there. But we'll see y'all next week, guys. Tight lines and happy hunting.